weekend, 6-point week. Let's get
it. Let me see.
Spurs sweep weekend.
Hey.
We own Spurs.
Yeah, that was the crazy part. It was like, man, we beat their whole club.
Yes,
not just
the whole
team,
just
they whole
club.
U23. Where's EDS?
We just basically just took over that part of London.
Right.
It's like London. This whole section of London, that's ours now.
It's like North London is white. No, North London is baby blue. Okay.
Hey, let's go. What is going on with these managers not named Josep Pep Guardiola? Mourinho gets sacked, which somehow brought back the Pep versus Mourinho debate. Klopp announced he's leaving Liverpool at the end of the season, saying he's put his batteries in the freezer too many times, has no juice left. Xavi, not to be outshone, announces he too plans on leaving Barca at the end of the season. Tired of Spanish media bullshit. He said, can't fire me, I quit. Tuchel, his wild tale, already hinting that he wouldn't mind leaving Bundesliga for La Liga. And a rumor started that Arteta could be leaving at the end of the season as well. Could not be Manchester City. In fact, Pep, in his pre-match presser for Tottenham, he had all the smoke in the press conference this week. Alexander Safino, said his name wrong. Anyway, he is UEFA's acting president. He said on Manchester City's 2-year ban on Manchester was right, going in on Manchester City, and I quote, "We know we were right. We couldn't decide to ban if we didn't think we were right. As a trial lawyer for 25 years, I know that sometimes you win a case that you are sure you will lose, and sometimes you lose a case when you're sure. You just simply have to respect, in a serious democracy, the decision of the court." End quote. That weapon then follows up all of that with, I don't want to speak about the case in England, but I trust the decision of our independent body was correct. Cue Pep Guardiola.
The lawyer that he is, the president of UEFA, he should wait. Wait. And after, do whatever he wants. So it was the sentence, he has to sentence about the UEFA, he has to respect it. And he has to wait. I have a lot of job to do in UEFA, to be involved in that case, is that the lawyers should respect the procedure. And after, he knows we have the right to defend ourselves.
That is too spicy, using his own phrasing. As a lawyer, he knows he should be speaking presumptuous like this. Too many people are attempting to get ahead of the decision of the independent court, working on the whole court of public opinion, which it's worked famously for people like Tory Lanez. There's another thing Pep said that I would like to address. I hate it so much when Pep quotes get used out of context. Example, his words on Omar Barada about needing a stand built for him if United succeeds. United supporters wanting to think Pep was being salty, even though it really was a dig at the lack of success at Old Trafford. It wasn't about Omar. I have the entire quote here from Pep, which will add context to how he ended up dating our opinionated neighbors next door.
And what the club is going to do is move forward, and they will find a way to replace him, and we continue, because the new guy is coming, maybe from here, for the guys are here, I don't know, Farhan will decide, Khaldoun will decide. The guys will be well prepared, and we will adapt, and the people will adjust the new knowledge for this person and move forward. But it's normal, always. So the club learned a lot from Omar, but Omar learned a lot for the club. In this combination, now go to United.
That's what I was going to say, though, because he's taking a lot of your, if you like, secrets, trade secrets.
Yeah, but Kevin De Bruyne is still in Man City.
Sorry?
De Bruyne will play here. Erling Haaland will play here. So at the end, it's not simple like that. You know that? Otherwise, with the power United we had done before. So maybe United thinks with this person everything is going to change. Congratulations. So I don't know it's going to happen this. I don't know. So he's a lovely person, incredible character, incredible professional. I wish him, yesterday I saw him, we hug each other and wish him all the best. Deeply, I wish him all the best. So because he's a fantastic person, what can I say? But I don't know if doing this, everything is going to sort it and works. If it did happen, oh my God, they have to make a stand for Mamborada in the future if it did happen.
So yes, you heard the bits and pieces, the clips that were being used. But in between those spicy clips, what did he say? I saw the dude yesterday. I love him. I gave him a big hug. I told him best of luck. He's a brilliant man. Like, all Pep said was like really nice things. But you can't use that giant quote. It wouldn't fit. It's not enough characters on Twitter. So I understand why. But it just pisses me off because it's just, where's the lie? Where did he lie? Any of it. So I just want you people, because I'm going to clip this for social media, take back your baseless claims of being jealous that we lost our fourth in line to a club that hasn't won a Premier League since 2012, huh? Manchester United have had more seasons not in Champions League outside of the top four than they have in the top four. Make it make sense. Don't think waiting to see what happens before believing the Red Devils back is a crazy take. What? We all saw you struggle with Newport County. You can lie to yourself, but not us.
The most is when you don't want the ball.
We're making art over
hate
here,
it.
baby. Capitalize A.
You have permission to make a mistake. You have permission to lose. You have permission.
And that's when we get big.
Yeah, I'm a genius.
Attack everyone and send everyone.
I think we're forgetting the most important thing. We're forgetting about focusing just on ourselves.
But we can do better. We need to take the next step, and there's no better place than taking the next step here.
Show ourselves out there how much we want to win it again.
We win 4 of the last 5 Premier League, guys. 4 of the last 5 Premier League. Are we going to do it again?
Don't ask me again about doubles, triples, quadruples, fifth-tuples, six-tuples, and seven-tuples. So,
Even though that travel double is on its way, baby. Let's go. Hey. Welcome to episode, what are we on? 86. 86. Well, we're 14 away from 100, guys. Yo, this is crazy. It's crazy. Oh, man. Hi, welcome to Shades of Blue.
The niggas debating my numero, not the 3, not the 2 on the UNO.
You know the vibes. We are the most comprehensive show about Manchester City, covering both the men's and women's games, spanning both sides of the Mason-Dixon line. We're making art over here, capitalized A. How's it going, my show bros?
Well, I'm not gonna lie to you, gentlemen. My football team won today, and I was not expecting it. As a matter of fact, I was expecting that they were gonna get smacked. So, in anticipation of that, I started drinking immediately, and so
So you got smacked instead, Tom?
What?
You expected them to get smacked, so you got smacked.
correct.
And then they did smack you.
Correct. So it was just yes. So I may or may not be a little bit intoxicated on this, but we're gonna have a good time.
I'm good. Happy to be here. Had I told the boys earlier, I had to drive home. Went home for my mother's birthday. She turns 58 on the 29th.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Mom.
birthday, Mom. Had a great time. Saw American Fiction with her today. Great film. Highly recommend. Incredible film. Took her out to eat last night. My sister. So just in the spirit of love this weekend. Love and gratitude, and grateful to have my mom still at 58. I know some people aren't as grateful, aren't as blessed. They've dealt with loss, so I'm just really happy that my mom's still here.
did you get her permission to say her age out in these internet streets?
Yeah, do I
So
need to
here's
cut it
the
out?
thing. My
I
mom
mean,
is not. She's not the stereotypical like, don't say my age, don't say that number. Like,
okay,
she's
cool,
good with it. It's a
cool.
good. Yeah, she gives that blessing. She even called me right when I got home. She's like, "Oh, I know you got to go on the podcast. Just wanted to call and let you know I love you. Happy you made it home." So yeah, mom's is with it. Mom.
I just want to make
Mama,
sure
I'm
that we
proud of you.
weren't gonna all get in trouble with you, because I was gonna say, look, I would have never done that to moms. I would have never put her age out there like that. So I'm glad it's all good.
Hey, she
Mama Williams,
great.
don't get us.
Mama got a. I'm gonna put it on Twitter on X later or Twitter. Mom got a beautiful Delta stick potato cake for her birthday.
Yes.
Hey.
Looked out. Shouts to the Reds. Duck walk everywhere. Love y'all.
That's what's up. Yeah, man. Like everybody said, just glad to be here. Episode 86. That's crazy. That's wild. Um, I don't know that I would have thought today, to be 14 away and see 100 right there on the horizon. I don't know, but man, it's awesome to be here and to be a part of it. So let's get it.
Yeah, man. Just watching those numbers go up, and it's just like 86. And very soon, I feel like we'll probably catch up because those like double matches in a week. Like normally, this is around the time when we start doing 2 episodes a week, and yeah, it's gonna get here soon. So I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, just keep building with my bros. So I love this. Before we get into anything at all, what I need you to do right now, if you're watching on YouTube, hit that thumbs up for us, show some love. Leave a comment on there. Let us know what you thought of the episode. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Good Pods, any of those podcast streaming services that allows you to rate, please, thank you. Give us that 5-star rating immediately. Reviews, those help as well. This week of shows, just in general, I know we always say we're stepping up our level of content and shows. I'm not joking now. So every week, I'm going to now have to give you the run of a week's of shows. Monday, tomorrow, today, depending on when you're listening, is our Breaking Bread match preview show with Turfcast, a Burnley FC podcast. We will be talking about Manchester City versus Burnley, streaming live on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. We have our Lit stream this Thursday, the most dangerous show about football. Our most dope guests are Spencer Schwartz. He is one of the heads of New York Sky Blues. I got to know him with our FanFest Live Familia. They were doing like a Premier League in the USA sponsored live shows in December. We have Evan T. Mack. He was previously of the Ringer Wrestling group, but now he's out doing his own thing, building his wrestling name. He is a United fan. I'm excited to talk football with him, but also the Royal Rumble just happened. So, I mean, I'll try to keep it mostly about football, but if whatever happens, whatever happens. Really excited about him coming on. And then Jamie Calderon, I guess I got to figure out how to say her name. I'm just really looking forward to having her on. She is another one of the references that I've gotten from our most dope Litstream guests. So no topics off limits, no thoughts held back. And then there's Friday. We have another Breaking Bread match preview for Monday's City versus Brentford match. I am bringing on Charlie Core. He is a part of, I believe, New York's Brentford Bees official supporters club. I met him again with FanFest Live, super dope person. And then Sunday, February 4th, is our Baby Blue Baddies kickoff show for City Women versus Leicester. We're going to start this a half hour before the match because 6:30 is the earliest we were going to do any kickoff show. So join us at 6:30, a half hour before kickoff. All of the links are in the show description. And last bit of admin for you, Shady Gang, but it is a doozy. You may or may not be aware. Shades of Blue, Chicago, April 20th. Taking over. Our first ever live event. First of the multiple events we are hosting is a 3-course breakfast event. I have hired my favorite chef around this area, most dope, brilliant person. The main course, there are 3 courses, but the main course I love talking about, you choose between 1 or 2 options. a modern twist to a classic English breakfast, or you can choose a breakfast trip around the United States. You can't go wrong with either choice, really. $100 will cover the 3 courses and your beverages for the meal. Second, we have an event that is a live watch party for City versus Tottenham. $5 gets you into this private space we have rented out. There's a cash bar that will have specialty cocktails that I have created for the day. There will also be free coffee and tea, orange juice, all those things for everybody who comes to the party. FanFest Live are our event sponsors helping us make the most of the event. Giveaways, games. We'll be live streaming the show on FanFest Live for those who can't make it to the watch party. So just $1 will get you watching the show from a beautiful angle. You'll hear our voices. You'll feel like you're hanging out there with us. Also, side note, shout out to Lando who can't make it. He's a little down right now. The whole family's out. So shout out to him. Get well soon. But I really wish he was here because he was the one who pointed out in our last episode, hey, if City handle business this weekend, we get to go to Chicago curse free. And look at us now, baby. But wait, there's more. Proud to announce we have added 2 more dates and locations, turning Live and Lit Chicago to Live and Lit US Tour. On top of April 20th, our event in Chicago, we will be able to connect with 2 most dope Man City official supporter groups, Cap City Blues in Washington, D.C., and Kansas City Citizens. May 4th, we will be at the Press Penny in Kansas City hosting a watch party and event for Manchester City versus Wolves. May 19th, we will be kicking it with the Cap City Blues for City versus West Ham. Snobby Boys, the homies, they will actually be joining us in Cap City Blues as our special guests because that is their home supporting group. Each tour date will get its own specialized tour shirt. Truly excited to travel around, specifically to hang with Shady Gang and make some new friends. Again, there's a link that is tied, it should say there. Click for Live and Lit Tour. It will take you to the Give Butter site, and all the tickets are meticulously lined. Chicago, Kansas City, Washington, D.C. You can buy a shirt. You can buy your ticket to Chicago, we're selling events. Really, you can buy shirts. We have a few other things that we will have available. Check that out. I'm just super excited to kick it with you guys, Shady Gang.
Come see us. We're awesome.
Hi, Charlotte will be in DC. Come through.
Might be a little biased, but yeah, I think we're pretty fantastic.
And I will be in Kansas City, so please drop by. We appreciate you.
In today's episode, we start with our Baby Blue Baddies, our Manchester City women's segment, hosted by Tom Baum. City women have played more games in these 8 days than Man City men have all month. Wins against crosstown, let me use hand quotes, rivals, and our opinionated neighbors, Manchester United, as well as a win away against Tottenham. Like we said in the cold open, North London, it's blue, baby. After our Baby Blue Baddie segment, we move to City Men, who broke the Tottenham curse, or should I say Nathan Ake, lifted us up from the cold, dark depths of a 5-match losing streak at Tottenham away that traversed 4 different managers and a new stadium. Preview and score predictions for the only match for Manchester City men and women this week. And that's against, company, Burnley, all them. And we will end the episode looking at the men's 5th round FA Cup draws. So, let's get started, shall we? C-I-T-Y. Hey. Tom Bomb, what are those Baby Blue Baddies doing to them?
Well, this was a 6-point week for Manchester City Women FC, and we love to see it. 3 points in the Conti Cup against Manchester United, and then 3 points in league at Spurs away. Unfortunately, we did lose the only player that we signed in the summer transfer window in Jill Roord. We wish her well. Hope that she is able to get well
Yes.
soon. I don't know, like ACL suck, a bad knees.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of discourse online, like, oh, we have to have people researching it. There are. It's like, oh, like uh, match schedule congestion is a big thing. It's like, yeah, you're right, it is. And but like, and I know that people are mad, but I think that first and foremost, I want to say like, anybody who is like pointing at Katie Zellum like as a dirty play, please stop doing that. That's not cool. Like that, freak accidents happen. Like that, I don't really think. Honestly, I don't think it had anything to do with Katie Zellum's tackle on Jill Roord that she tore her ACL. I could be wrong. I'm not a medical doctor, but that's not something that we need to do. Like harass her online. So let's please.
Yeah, and it doesn't do anything.
Yeah,
It doesn't help anything.
doesn't help in the situation that we're seeing. Over 27 calendar days, we've seen 11 ACL ruptures in world football. So on the women's side. So
Oh, but before we get into the game itself, at least with
yes.
the cup match, I have a couple of clips. So I will start here with Yui and her contract extension. I had mentioned that I had the best parts of Yui's interview.
I am extremely happy. I couldn't be happier. One of the biggest reasons is football style. Yeah, I love our style. So, yeah, I want to win the league and Champions League and Cup. That's why I decided to stay here. I want to play in Champions League and I want to win Champions League with City. Yeah,
Said it twice.
Netflix and I cook Japanese food every day, but I don't try cooking. But yeah, I have to cook because I want to eat Japanese food.
She's like, I shouldn't be cooking because I'm not good at it.
it.
But if I want the food, I'm gonna have to. And then
Yes.
I actually wanted to play this real quick part. GT after the match about on Yui.
Incredible yesterday. I did my press conference and no one asked me about Yui, and it was launched yesterday morning.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
It's concerning.
Yeah. Bad journalism. Possibly for me, like one of the most important signings, I think. Such a good player. Incredible when you think about her position was an attacking midfielder at Milan and
Wicked,
for
right?
West Ham, and to be able to go into that new position, replace someone top like Kira. She's been incredible and she just makes us tick. I think she's probably even better. She's very good with the ball, but even better without the ball. The way she assesses situations and reads the players.
Constantly like scanning.
Yeah, we're so proud of her. She's great.
And I just listening to Gareth, I was like, man, I feel like that's the nicest and the most descriptive he's ever been about anything ever. And so that's mostly why I wanted to play it.
He was very effusive about his commentary on the player. I think it was also like he was showing a little bit of that personality that we said that he lacked in like,
yes,
like, yeah, it might be a little bit of a dry way, but like, yeah, it was like, and he did it in defense of one of his players, which I think is awesome. And yes, Yui Hasegawa did sign an extension.
Yes.
I just want to say that this is really bad, and this is no disrespect to her, but Yui Hasegawa has made me forget about Kira Walsh in the most respectful way possible.
Yes,
like
yes,
I feel like there's a drop off. There's not like oh my god, I wish we had Kira Walsh in this situation because Yui didn't. No. Yui has been 8 out of 10 every match at least. Like she is incredible.
Yeah,
I can't tell you a bad match I've watched. She's amazing. I mean, that's a home run signing. That is a part of your spine. That is essential. So you think about her, Bunny, Alex Greenwood, like Kira Keating now,
yeah,
her princess. Like it's incredible the spine the women have, and like all shouts to Yui.
Definitely glad to see her sign that extension. Very excited to keep her till 2027 and hopefully longer. So and achieve all of those goals that she listed out. So it's pretty awesome. Um, so for the cup, uh, we lined up with Kiara Keating in goal. Left to right, Layla Wahhabi, Alex Greenwood, Laya Alexandri, Yui Hasagawa, Jill Roward, Laura Coombs, Hemp, Shaw, Kelly. Um, this was a very physical match from the outset. Like, you could tell that United wanted to make it choppy, and they were very successful at that. They really controlled a lot of the first half. Honestly, we were lucky to escape the first half with just a nil, with just the scoreline being 0-0. They had the more dangerous chances on goal, and like any chance that we did have in the first half seemed to be more of a how do I put this? More of a mistake by United than it would be from us. So going to halftime, and then right out of the gate, we are just hammering and pressing. Um, Lauren Hemp gets across into the box from the left hand side. Angledall gets a touchdown. Um, I think Engledog gets a touchdown. Chloe Kelly takes a touch, takes another to bring it down, takes another touch to bring it up a little bit to separate her from the defender. Takes a shot, upper 90. You're not the postage stamp. You're not doing anything with that. So Man City 1, Man United 0, and excuse me, in the 47th minute. Then more just extended possession for City, not many chances for United. Finally, we break through, and Kirsten Kasperai, I think, recorded her first assist. Chloe Kelly had the key pass into her in the box. Kasperai runs to the byline, gets the cross in, nicked by the keeper, but Lauren Hemp is at the back post for a tap in, makes it 2-1 City. We were hoping to get the clean sheet, but Nikita Paris was a menace in that match. Honestly, for all 90 plus minutes that she played, she finally got on the score sheet in stoppage time, but at that point it was really too late. So Man City is on top of the Conti Cup group. Um, with all 5 match days being played. So they will enter into the knockout stages with Aston Villa. Um, Group C still has yet to play all of no. Group C has played all of their matches. So London City, Arsenal, um, Brighton Hove Albion will also be there. Chelsea will join the competition as well, and then the top second place team will advance, which appears to actually be United based off of 9 points um, in their group. Oh, excuse me, it's Tottenham. It's Tottenham with 10. Um, so we basically knocked United out of this competition with this result. So kudos to us. Moving on into that competition, it was really sad to see Jill Roar grab that match early in the first half. It it kind of looked like she knew that it happened, right away. Most athletes are probably in way more touch with their own bodies than we are, so like they know when something wrong is happening, um, which is really rough. So that's why the goal tribute in today's match was really really touching, and we'll just jump right into that one. The lineup really didn't change too much. The only change in the lineup was Angledall started in Roard's place, and uh, really in this match, let's see, it's it seemed we like had problems with Spurs's press like within the first I don't know like 7 minutes, but finally we were able to break out of it and play city football. City football, our city got the ball out to the left. to Lauren Hemp. She puts a cross in towards Bunny. It fortunately for Man City, was an own goal, as the defender.
I missed it.
You missed the own goal?
I went to refill my coffee mug.
Oh man. And she just chested it right into her stomach, like right into the.
Well, and I heard I heard it go own goal. So I was like losing and I was like, oh no. Was that us? And
No. So, and then immediately all of the players ran over to the touchline. Lauren Hemp held up Jill Roard's jersey. Jill Roard was actually in attendance in this match, at Brisbane Road, which was pretty awesome to see. She just made the announcement yesterday, um, that she had had the rupture, and for her to still show up for her teammates, that was pretty awesome. And then the to see her teammates show up for her in that moment, that was really awesome too. In the rest of the first half, really just we saw something we don't see every day. I think this breaks Yui's consecutive minutes played streak of
oh
not having a
yeah.
foul, just short of 1,000 or something crazy like that. But I mean, it's
Oh yeah. And speaking of stats real quick, sorry to interrupt
good.
you. I am in the third week of February. I am having on, his name is Sam Beccarino. And he is the
Yeah,
person that you have seen some of his stats pop up. And I feel like he was the
yeah.
one who was sharing that. So he will be coming on and we will be getting to know him and how he fell in love with football. And I just told him to give me some stats on the men's and the women's. That could be good, that could be bad. I just want to be shocked and surprised by him. So stay tuned for that, Shady Gang.
That's dope. Sam is awesome. Love when somebody stats me down. That's what's
Right.
up. Um, so the men were not the only people that had a business trip down to London, down to face Spurs. The women also had that same business trip. Um, oh wait, let's see. Then we got busy in the second half. Just we attacked possession of the ball, and we didn't really let it go, which was very nice. And Bunny Shaw got another goal. I believe this was ties her with Lauren James in the Golden Boot race. So that's fantastic to see. City was really able to close out the match. Some of the substitutions that were made based off of Jill Roard's injury. It was weird to see Jess Park in the midfield, and not out on the wing. But shout out to Flops who pointed this out. She seemed to be relatively press resistant, which is an encouraging sign. Because that's a player that we're obviously going to need to step up, because we are going to need some, with Dana Castellanos leaving, and as well as Joe Roard being hurt, there are going to be some players we need to step into the midfield. So, and seeing her, she had a nice little move and created a corner, at the top of the box. I think she spun through two defenders. As a matter of fact, my mom was walking through the room as I was watching the match, and she kind of stopped and she was like, "Ooh, that was a really nice move." So, yeah, very professional away victory. This does keep us in second place in the table. Just 3 points short of Chelsea. Same matches played. Arsenal also has uh, 28 points, and their goal differential is 17 and ours is 25, and that includes their win today, their 2-0 win. Who they play? Liverpool.
So I want to point out something that a lot of people will overlook. When you're trying to get a clean sheet, it's very important how you finish the match, right? We saw it in Conti Cup; those late goals happen, but I was able to watch after it, all of stoppage time, and to see the way City possessed the ball for 3 straight minutes. Like there was nothing Spurs could do to get the ball off of them, and it wasn't until Engeldahl kind of just played the ball down, and it went out and it went for a goal. Goalkeeper got it after that, but like it was beautiful to watch all the patterns of play, the triangles, like just the control. I saw Jess Part looking good in that. All of our defenders were able on the ball. Keating did her job. She lofted a beautiful pass to the left side at one point. Like that type of control and that type of poise to say, hey, like, no, we know you want the ball, but it almost like Spurs quit. Spurs realized they could not get it. There was a nutmeg at one point. It was just beautiful to see every single player on that pitch felt confident on the ball. And that's including someone that's replacing one of our best players, right? Like, you come in, you wait your turn. And we talked about this on the pre-match, on the kickoff show. Like, I predicted 2-0. I predicted dominance. They had almost 70% possession all match. The women are here. And when Yui says she wants Champions League, I don't think she's the only one in the club on the side that wants that, right? Like everybody knows that's the goal because we haven't been in a few years. And you could see like what Gareth has been building for the last few years is coming to fruition. When you can not resist, when you can still thrive after an injury that is so abrupt 3 days later or 4 days later, that's incredible. A lot of teams will fold. A lot of players won't be ready. But credit to Just Park, credit to everyone, Engeldahl, everyone that plays that position to like really be ready to step up because when your number's called, you got to show up. The club needs you. You've been waiting your turn, and every woman on that pitch was amazing today.
And I think that speaks to the locker room culture that the team has. Like I think that when we first started this show, um, whether it be manager, whether it be the players, like there was just some sort of disconnect in culture in the locker room. And like you see a player like Jill Rohr just having recently being injured, making it a point to, have her kit on, like um to, to show that she's with the team. You see a player, you see the pictures that like of the players um being there with Jill, taking all taking a selfie. You see the videos of Chloe Kelly, right next to Yui saying like, "I'm the reason that she stayed." Like stuff like that. Like, you can tell that like this team is very very tight knit, and like that helps you win championships.
Yeah, it's really what makes me feel like we can catch Chelsea. Yes, we are waiting for them to lose, but it's just the control, and because Chelsea, they just outballed the other team. They score so many, it's very difficult to beat them. Where we controlled the game, and that's why we always handle Chelsea. Is because Chelsea, they just want to outrun you, outscore you, make the most out of the chances that they get. Where we have now become efficient on top of being
lethal
possession. Yes, it's just, and so it's just such a great combination. I've just been looking at staring at Chelsea's schedule, and they have their final UWCL match against Paris, and then 4 days later they play Chelsea, and then they play Everton, and then they have a fifth round FA Women's Cup match against Crystal Palace. Yes, I understand that they should possibly win those, but the knockout stage starts in the beginning of March, and that's when they play Arsenal, and West Ham, and Tottenham, and Aston Villa, Liverpool. That's how they end the season. It's really tough for them. And then United is the last match of the season for them. It could be a point where we're legitimately going to be like, holy shit, are we going to like soft root for United? Because like it's going to be very interesting to see how the season ends, and I'm feeling good for our Baddies' chances.
I am too, and our like honestly at this point, like if you think about it, catch um we can still catch Chelsea, and they don't necessarily even have to lose. Like as long as like we we need to go to we're gonna have to go to Kings Meadow, and we're gonna have to win. And like Arsenal comes back to our place, like they have to come back to the Joy Stadium. Like they might, like honestly, they might even play that at the Etihad. Like I don't know, Just because just because it is such a big
Yeah, it's gonna be a big game.
big match. Like they still have to play us at home, so like everything is still in play. Like you just have to, like I think at this point, like we have established that this is a 3-team race for the title. Like, we've eliminated United, like, and like Liverpool and Tottenham basically gave us their best shot and lost. So like, and then Liverpool then like successfully lost to us and Arsenal. So they're out. So we've proven like over the course of the league, it's a three horse race. So as long as we are as long as we don't have another match like we had against Brighton, we should be good. Like we should be on course to like at least be like within like it's just going to be those 2 matches, honestly, as long as we handle business in the other ones.
I think this match coming up against Arsenal is big just because it's a statement, right? Whoever wins it is going to be making a statement. We're tied on points. It's who's going to go second. Again, it's not for the league, but for FA Cup. But it's a mentality thing, right? Who's going to be the bigger of these 2 teams? And so you go into any future matches with that level of confidence. And so we have to go on the road, so it's a little bit of a added difficulty there, added level of difficulty. But I'm confident in our ability to go and win that match. And then if we do, I think the boost that it gives mentally is just it positions us well for the rest of the season, and probably is a little bit demoralizing for an Arsenal because you feel like this is our chance to prove that we're the bigger or better team. And then if you go and you lose that match on your home field, that's a lot to deal with when you think we're already neck and neck. So I think this is a good chance for us to mentally and emotionally just kind of stamp our right to that really top of the league, because again, like you said, we're right there with Chelsea nonetheless. So
Agreed. Like, and I think that like Kiara Keating thinks that she, lost the match at Meadow Park when we played them there, and it's a good way for her, for her to exercise those demons. Like, I would not be surprised if Gareth. Like, I understand that like McKeever is the second keeper, and like typically you allow the second keeper to like at least like that's what has been City's like MO. But I think like when you have such a young player like Kiara Keating at such a key position like goalkeeper, and that she made 3 mistakes that like made the match like lost the match essentially. You have to like let her get that out. So I'm anticipating that be the case in that match. Arsenal does look good. I'm actually expecting this match to go to extra time, but I think that we will win it in extra time, 2-1 at their place.
I don't care what the score is as long as we win. This is gonna be a match I'm gonna be very stressed about. I'm gonna be very because they seem like they're getting into form. They're getting their players back.
They are definitely do seem like they're clicking. If you think about it from the standpoint that like all of their people who had ACL injuries in the last like 18 months, they're like coming back now. Miedema came back. That was her first goal. She scored her first goal since she's come back post surgery. So,
and what a goal was it?
It was a very nice goal. I do have to tip my hat to her on that. So, yeah, big match next week. But I feel like we win 2-1.
Keep it moving to the men. And 2 clips before we get diving into the match. First, as we discussed in the previous episode, Calvin Phillips has been loaned to West Ham, where he looks like he's going to be treasured by those lot, which is good to see because, I want our money.
Just want to say, I really hope his his play is so great that they want him in a deal for Paquetá, where it's like it cuts down Paquetá's price. You maybe get 50 instead of a full 90 or 100. You take Calvin, he's been great for you. You finish top 6. Everybody wins. We know the Brazilian wants to come here. There's still been I haven't heard anything about his gambling case. So I hope that like it's a win-win for both clubs.
It is interesting that they're making a concerted effort to close cases against teams and clubs quickly within the same season. That's a new focus because, again, everybody's complaining about the city situation dragging on as long as it has. So they're trying to close everything in the same season or before the end of the season. So it's interesting that we've yet to hear anything regarding the player. Because we heard the Brentford situation with Ivan Toney, but we haven't heard a final disposition of this case with Paquetá. So you would expect it to come or hope that it would come soon. Because to your point, I think once we know, we can make a decision one way or the other and move forward.
Yeah, it's going to be real interesting. So I have a clip of Pep on Calvin Phillips, and I, for one, was very taken aback by his words.
If I give him 10, 15 games in a row, he will play good. I didn't give him to me. I feel so responsible with that. But at the same time, I'm honest with me. As I've a disposal players, the squad, and have to decide what we are looking for different things. And only I can say is the grateful I am for his behavior and on and off the pitch from many, many situations. But and hopefully that he can find the minutes like he can come back. And next season, we'll see what happens. And he finally go to West Ham. There's no one person that we don't want to wish him all the best in his short time, 4 or 5 months in London.
Wow. Apologize for not giving him the chance, which is the classy thing to say. The truth is, I've said it multiple times, and it was even leaked shortly after the loan went through that Calvin immediately showed that he wasn't ready for the club, and that made Pep feel away. I was one of the first people who saw him in real life when they did the U.S. tour here in Houston. The closed practice. It was just so jarring because I was watching Mahrez and Cancelo and all these players be just so terrific on the ball, doing these like things I couldn't even imagine. And you see Calvin struggling, like getting picked on in the rondo drills, like specifically aimed at so badly that they told him to go practice with the youths. It's just not a good sign. But truly, again, we want Calvin to do the best that he can at West Ham. We want it because, again, we want that proper fee. But he just seems like a right, gentle, like such a sweet human being. And you want the best out of people like that. So next. Oh, yep.
I was going to say, I just love that that Pep goes out of his way to talk about Calvin's character, especially when you compare it to the Cancelo situation, which we know was the worst demonstration of character. And someone who was on a Premier League team of the season was like, get the fuck out. Like, you go to Spain because you're disrespectful, and we're going to win the trouble without you. This is the mea culpa, right? Of like, hey, we got this player. We clearly overjudged what he could do for our system, but there is somewhere else where he will thrive. And so it's not even it's in our interest, like you said, to see him succeed. If West Ham finishes 5th and they beat out Man U and Chelsea, that's incredible for us, especially if he's a part of this stretch run. Everybody wins, and I hope he in the best case scenario he doesn't come back to City because he's done so well at West Ham. That's all I want. I want him to do so well. West Ham needs him. They have to find the right replacement long term. He's young. He's still only 28. This is what has to happen. So best of luck to Calvin. Can't wait to watch. Shout out to Brawley. I'll be watching every West Ham match.
Next up is Pep on Haaland. He's just tired of you motherfuckers saying things like, do you need to adjust how you play them? How much do you play them? Is that too much? Should Halan do more yoga?
The bone, it was at the end, we thought it was a bit less, but at the end it was a little bit of fracture of the bone, and the bone is not a muscular issue that you can do a little bit, come back a little. No, when you have this kind of injuries, there is a question of time. The people say between 6-8 weeks. It's between 6-8 weeks. It's not about as much you work, as much you go to Abu Dhabi or don't go to Abu Dhabi will be short. The bone needs its time to close,
Bro, relax. It's a bone. You can't speed a bone up. You can't slow a bone down. You can't rest it up. The bone's just gonna bone. Crazy. All right. Starting 11 for the match was Ortega, the cup keeper, Vardial, Ake, Diaz, Walker, Kovacic, Rodri, Bob, Odin, Silva, and Alvarez up top. Strong enough squad to handle Tottenham, except it's Tottenham away. I said we were going to win them more as like a defensive mechanism, just trying to keep my soul happy. But leading up to the match, I really had no nerves. And that's kind of what also made me feel weird. But again, I had no nerves. I don't know what it was. What was your mentality leading up to the match? And what did you think about the starting 11, Tarek?
Leading up to the match, I guess I was surprisingly calm based on the fact that we've struggled against Tottenham away for a while. So you come into it thinking, okay, this could be the year that, or the match that we actually beat them. So I mean, I think that's kind of where I was as far as how I felt coming in. As far as the lineup, trying to remember who started in this match. So of course Ortega at the back, we know that. So that was good to see. Um, I think the only surprise, if you want to call it that, was seeing Oscar Bob, start on that left wing. And I think I posted this either on Twitter or in our group chat. I don't really know, but um, that's a big call by Pep.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a big statement of belief in that player because, again, this isn't a FA Cup match against Maidstone United or whoever else, right? This is PL competition, and it's going into a place that we've not scored and we've not won. So this was the biggest compliment I think Pep could pay to Oscar Bob, was to start him on that left wing over a Doku, over a Grealish, and just to say, I see you, I'm going to play you. So I think that was pretty much the only thing that stood out as far as the back line. It was what we expected. So I think that's pretty much the only thing that stood out to me. Charlie, what about you?
Totally agree about Bob. Was happy to see him be rewarded clearly for what he's done in the past few months. The other thing that stood out was the bench, right? Like, you do have Grealish on the bench. You have Doc on the bench. That's, for me, I think about a full 90, right? And so Pep, by starting him, it's not so much saying like, oh, you're better than these other players. Like, hey, we have a full 90-minute game plan that you're going to give us everything you have. And then we got these heavy hitters on the bench. And that's amazing. And of course, KDB, you got Stones on the bench. Like, so when people talk about City's depth, and I think I'll put this in a group chat, is like, we have enough at every position. You can only have 5 subs a match. We always got 5 hitters on the bench. And we have 5 hitters this match. So I was very confident that whatever happened in the match, we were going to have enough to pull through.
Kickoff begins. And Oscar Bob's goal was taken away in the 5th minute. Called offside by half a boot. I'm going to put on my conspiracy hat real quick. When you look at the still they used, Bob's bright red boots are very visible, where it looks like Van der Veen's blue boots are hidden by the line. Kind of looks like it blended in with it a little bit. maybe if Bob was wearing like a dark blue boot, maybe he got away with it. I don't know. It was just felt very nitpicky. Where I don't know. That we just need to be in a. And also, what annoyed me is they put the offsides flag shot up. Like I thought you were supposed to let the play go, but he lifted the flag up, so it was almost like VAR was stuck because he had already called it offsides. If they would have just allowed the goal to happen, chances are maybe that goal would have happened because you can't really be like, no.
Nah, not with offside. When the lines are drawn, if there's any bit of a gap in between them, it's offside. Now we could debate whether was that the right moment to take the steal. Was the line in the right spot, which is kind of what you're saying. But if everything else being equal, whether he puts the flag up early or not, if what we saw or what they saw was what they saw, it would have ended up the same way.
Yeah, I do think like this is a great point for the new way that they like officiate the lines. But, like if the lines touch at all, it's ruled a goal. That wasn't the case last season and seasons prior. So the fact that there was still space, it's I mean he had on his bright pink boots, like you couldn't miss it. It was like, oh, you're a little bit ahead of the defender. But I will say to start a match like that, that gave me a lot of hope. It's like, okay, we can break them down, we can make things happen. This is a really great way to start.
Okay. Manchester City dominated the first half, yet they were not able to get the ball in goal. City passed the ball well, managed to keep possession, looked incredibly comfortable on the ball, particularly Oscar Bob. What were you seeing in the first half? Like, would you say it was City struggling? Would you say it was Tottenham tactically, defensively astute? Like, who really would you give the credit for in that?
So for me, it's kind of hard for me to say. So it's a Friday afternoon match here in the States, so I'm working and trying to do this. So, from what I could see, it felt like we dominated possession. We had the ball. We were doing pretty much what we wanted to do with it. Um, and to the point we had broken them down in that moment. We got a goal, or we got the ball at least into the back of the net. They chalked it off. But it felt like we were, for the most part, as far as I could tell, we were always in the ascendancy. We were never like, they were never on top. We were always on top in that first half. And so for me, based on what I could see, it just felt like, to a certain extent, the moment will come as long as we don't get caught on the counter. I don't know if it was first half or second half. There was a couple moments where, like, oh, they just showed that they still have that threat, they being Tottenham, to come back at us in the other way. So you just got to make sure you're staying mindful. But I think those were relatively far and few between in the first half, and so it felt like if we keep playing like this, it's a matter of time. And I think the only thing that made you even question that was just the scars from the past, right? But then you look out, and there is no Harry Kane. There is no human song. So I know what they've done in the past, but those players ain't out there right now. You know, Heung-min Son isn't walking through the doors or coming onto the pitch. He's not. Harry Kane is in Germany. He's not showing up on this pitch tonight. So from that standpoint, I felt fairly comfortable at that point.
For me, I echo a lot of what Tarek said, and I would just also say that like there was not a shot, not even a shot on target. There was not a shot that they registered. There were a couple offside things that happened, blah blah blah, and even Ortega showed up big in those moments. One sweeping it, one stopping Brendan Johnson. But like the biggest thing was that we were trying intricate moves in the middle of the pitch, and they were just off by a hair. It was Foden to Kovacic to Alvarez. Like it was a slight mistouch here. I believe somebody got a weak shot on target. We were just a little off, and I think this was the first half where I said, "Oh, we miss Holland." Because if you have Holland on that pitch, I think he scored and the match is over. Just by his sheer presence alone, right? So like I think we make it a half, it's 0-0. I'm like, oh, we're in a good place because we still have, like I mentioned, those hitters on the bench. KDB is coming. Doku's coming. Grealish might come. Like I wasn't worried at halftime as much as like we still have a clean sheet. They haven't threatened us at all. How are we going to get this goal?
Yeah. Like a quick thing that annoyed the hell out of me. Commentary called Vanderven the fastest player in the league. While on the pitch with Kyle Walker, I guess I don't see the dude much. He's probably fast, but it was just like the fastest in the league. We got a lot of fast dudes in the league.
They should have said fastest defender, and I think they used the data of like in the Bundesliga last year, he clocked a time at like the 8th fastest out of the whole Bundesliga. So that was like their reference point. He's a very fast dude. Like he was actually messing stuff up, and I was very upset that he's so good.
He was.
And Spurs got worse when he was hurt, and now that he's back, you can see his importance to the team. But yes, he's not faster than Kyle Walker, but he's a big one. He's a fast white.
And he was like, yeah, he's just so tall and long, and I was just like, all right. Yeah, so shout out to him. Vardiol. Let's stick with the defense, but our defense. Vardiol and Walker. On offense, being our most wide players, Vardiol ended up in some real dangerous positions, but nothing came from it. And those are the things that people hate on him for, but he's a defender, but also he's in those positions. So should he do better? I don't know. It's kind of weird. And then there's Walker wide open on the right, knocking these balls in with the low crosses. How do you feel? And we'll start with you, Sharpie. We'll go right back to you. How do you feel about our defensive players having to be key contributors to our attack?
I feel like it's an important thing. Like you need all 10 outfield players to be a part of the attack. Everybody has a role to play. Was this their best match? No. But we've seen both of them be intricate parts of our scoring this season, right? We just saw Kyle Walker's assist at Newcastle, right? To Bernardo. We've seen Vardiol get through and make things happen in the box. Was there a part? I think it was one like he skied the pass. I don't know if it was a shot or a pass. As they say, caught between two lines.
Yes.
That was terrible. That was very annoying. But I'm not going to just say because of one bad match, hey, this guy can't handle it. No, he was off a little bit. Just like Foden was off a little bit, just like Alvaro was off a little bit. It wasn't a clean, fluid match. And I didn't expect it in Spurs. Like, whatever we got out of this match was going to be harder. Mistakes were going to be made. But I will say the fact that they kept going. And they kept going at it. And you didn't see Vardiol get scared on the ball. Like, that's more important than anything. Because if there's that timidity that happens, then you go, oh, he's not ready for this moment. But Vardiol's played against all the big sides in the Big Six so far. So it's not like he's scared of Spurs. It's just like, hey, I'm just off a little bit. And Walker on the right, I love the runs he was making early. He was keeping you doggy honest. Because even though like he would fall asleep and Walker would be over the top. And the ball might be a little too far. The pass might be a little back. Nobody might be running on it. But like Walker was dangerous on that right wing. And so as American Citizen said on the Lit stream, shout out to him, come to see us on Thursday nights. It's important that, that width is established and is actually dangerous. And I felt like it was dangerous width. It wasn't just width for the sake of width. That's at least how I read it.
I think for me, this football is different than American football, which is on right now, in that in American football, for the most part, especially at the professional level, especially, you don't have people that play both sides. You're either a defender or you're an attacker. You're on the offense, you're on the defense. That's not the case in this football, soccer, world's football, however you want to call it, where in theory, for our club at least, we attack with, I'm going to say 11 because I'm going to include Ederson in that. We attack with 11 and we defend with 11. Everybody's got to do both. And so maybe they start their positioning, their starting position on offense is further back. But then that's when they're getting forward. So I just think this is a part of how we create our overloads. This is a part of how we create our mismatches. And I would expect to see that consistently. If I spin it forward, though, if, say, a Kyle Walker is going, or let's say our right back is going to be in those types of positions, maybe that does open the door for more of a right wing back style of player, aka a Jan Quoto, who is a City player on loan at Girona, who may end up being able to play in those positions very well, maybe even better than he would be able to play in those defensive positions, as a pure defender. So if this is the style of play and they're going to be in those positions throughout the course of the match, I think that bodes well for somebody like him. So do I have an issue with it? No, I think that's just the way that we play. And it again, this is Pep taking advantage of his players in their best positions. That allows, by getting Walker all the way up high on the right, that allows uh, Bernardo to kind of come more inside, be involved more centrally. So I just think Pep is like, whoever I put out there, I expect you to be able to play both sides of the ball and do both. So yeah, I don't have any problem with it at all.
Real quick, I was thinking with Vardiol's presence, we know he was always considered a Rolls Royce and the defensive equivalent to Holland in the Bundesliga coming to the world, yada yada yada. What really allows that, what he really does is allow Ake to be in his best position, which is as a true defender. Because last year, Ake was the one that had to go up and down, and he could do it, but his real strength is defending, and we saw that, right? When he was able to just defend, lights out, make some mistakes up top, blah blah blah. Guardiola's 21, he's there. But Ake being a true left center back, beside Diaz, Walker opposite, he's immaculate at that position. Like, I'm gonna say this right now, and I don't care. Like, Nathan Ake is a top 5 center back in the Premier League, and I would love to hear other people's opinions because what he does defensively, if it's outside, if it's inside, like, he handles business. And there may be like 2 mistakes that I can point out for the last couple seasons, but like, the man is immense. I'm wearing his shirt right now. I love this third kit from a couple seasons ago. Like, he's amazing. And watching him do his job, this is before we get to the end of the match, right? But just watching him play to play, possession, I couldn't ask for a better left center back.
He is the best Dutch center back in the Premier League. Yes, I know that Virgil van Dijk plays in the Premier League. He is the best Dutch center back in the Premier League.
Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby.
I was gonna say, if we're talking top 5, of course, who are you putting in that 5? That other Dutch defender would be one of those people that most people would probably put in that conversation. But Tom has already stated it outright. No, Ake is better.
I think he's a City rep, right? I will give you real quick in some particular order: Ake, Van Dijk, Saliba. Notice the hue of their skin tone. And then from there, you can pick your other 2. I don't give a fuck. But Ake is up there. Like, he is one of those ones. And the fact he's left out of every team of the season after what we saw he did against Saka and Salah and, in Champions League, like, it's really disappointing because people continue to give it to Diaz, who is not bad, who was really good, but Ake outshined him last year, just like Akanji did. Like, our best 2 defenders are the double A's. Like, it's Ake and Akanji. Like, Diaz is the 3rd best center back, and really 4th if you want to put John Stones there. So, like, we've been saying this. I've been saying this for a while, and I really feel even stronger in my convictions now.
Yes. First half, it ends 0-0, which feels like a good thing. Not losing. The players look focused. They're in control of the situation. The joke you saw going around was, this is a match that's going to end 1-0 Tottenham. I was a little worried about that. And, I mean, was there really anything specific that we were hoping to see in the second half? Or was it really just more of the same? Let's keep it going. Tamba?
I felt like we were so good on the ball, and like we kept the ball where we wanted it for so much of the first half, and we were creating chances and just not finishing them. And like, I don't know if like that just feels like the Tottenham curse, Tottenham away curse or what have you. But I really felt like, yeah, we're gonna be the team that scores. Like, just based off of run of play, like, we're gonna be the one that scores. Like, it might not, like, there is only one goal in this match, yes, but it's going to be us that score it.
Second half, it began, and Alvarez had 2 direct shots at goal that could have won us the match. One ended up being directly at the keeper. It was just like a super soft thing. And then another one where he just had to just knock it in and just skide it over the goal. And it's one.
No. That wasn't a sky. Vanderven got in the way of that. Remember, we got a corner off.
Oh, yeah, we got a corner off.
That was
You're right.
I thought it was a sky at first, and I was like, wait,
yes.
The fast white was there. Fast white was
there. Julian, he was great in the match, and Sharpie, you said it also. It was just one of these matches where his first touch just seemed really off. It just really couldn't figure out a way around Tottenham, and I just really missed Talon. Like, I just really missed Mans. But City's defense was stout the whole match, just so great. There was one moment in the entire match where Johnson got the ball on the right and he was running up and he crossed the ball low and it just missed everybody. But if there was a Liverpool player or if there was a Tottenham player there, all they had to do was just boot it right past Ortega. Luckily, it went behind Richarlison, and then they had to scramble, and City got the ball out of there. But most of the match, they were just so great. I really wasn't. I got stressed because we just kept playing without scoring. It wasn't necessarily anything that I was seeing from Tottenham. It wasn't anything that I was seeing from my squad necessarily. I was just getting stressed. It was just the fact that the longer we play without scoring, the more likely Tottenham are to score. But the changes came that we were hoping for. It happened. The Belgian duo, Kevin Doku, comes on for Alvarez and Bob. Tottenham gave Doku the Saka treatment. Basically, the second he touched the ball, there were just 2 defenders on him, not letting him get anywhere. And then the moment in the 77th minute that many people were talking about with Doku, when Pep was screaming at him, "Run! Run! Get back!" And you could see it. He was just like jogging, and maybe it's because he thought that they were going to shut the ball down and he could quickly turn back up and start running again. I don't know what was going on. It's situations like that. It wouldn't surprise me if we now don't see Doku for like a match or 2. Or if we do, we just see him for a very short amount because that's what Pep does. When you mess up and I have to scream at you, I don't want that stress on me. So you're going to sit until you learn to run back. Like, just run back. You're fast. I'd understand it if you were like a slow dude, but you're the fastest dude on the pitch right now. So run.
I think that's where we talk about on-ball work versus off-ball work. And to be a complete player, you have to do the off-ball work, and that's where Jack gets undervalued. Because there are so many times you will see him in the defensive third making a clearance, making a stop, making a tackle, taking a foul if needed, right? Like, Jack is always going to give you 100% effort, but he's an older player. To be someone younger like Doku, who's 21, 22, whatever, like early 20s, you have to learn how to hustle. Like, hustle is a skill. Effort is a skill. It's not just something you do because you're fast. It's something you have to push yourself to do once you've made a mistake or you lost the ball or the move didn't come off for whatever reason. It's like, no. The match doesn't stop because I messed up. And the way that Pep coaches them in that moment is the same way he'll coach Holland or coach Diaz. Mm-hmm. He coaches everyone the same. And so, yeah, we know Grealish has come back. He's coming back. We had the sad thing with the break into his home. Possible injury. So, like, he's definitely ready for a start. And if he starts against Burnley, I wouldn't be shocked. But, like, for what you said, but it's also like it's truly a teachable moment. And what better way to be taught than in a match that matters so much, right? Like, this isn't a throwaway match. This isn't Luton and Norwich. Like, no, you really got to go. And the rest of the match, no mistakes from Doku, right? It's just, that's the beauty of Pep. Some managers don't do that in the moment. Pep's like, I don't care who's watching. You know you fucked up. Get your ass back on defense. And that's brilliance right there.
And I think the other part of it, too, is unless your name is Lionel Messi, you are expected to get back and defend. It just that Pep is not, again, with some clubs, the more creative attacking players, you kind of can I'm going to rest on when the other team has the ball, and we doesn't allow that. We want to win the ball back quickly. We want to get back and fight and get it back in position, help your teammates out, and he expects that from everybody. And I think he's new to the club, new to the Pep system, and just understanding what it is that Pep is expecting. And I think this is like the second time that I can recall where I felt like, hey, you could have done better there. You needed to get back. You needed to hustle back and do more. Um, so I think yes, we've seen Pep. If you're not doing what you're expected to do, we've seen Pep take players out of the team for a little bit. Um, I don't think it's a big deal. I think Doku is young. If he doesn't play for the next couple of matches, then okay, whatever. But I don't think it's a big deal. I just think Pep is again teaching and getting the best out of these players, and part of that is saying you have to give 100% effort at all times when you're on the pitch. And when you get to the place where you can't go or we deem you not able to go, we'll pull you off. We have subs that we can bring in for you. But in these moments, we expect you to go 100%. And in this case, he came in off the bench, so really would have expected him to be fresh. And that's part of the reason you're on the pitch, to use your speed to go at people. And so and to take advantage of mismatches or whatever. You're coming in fresh. These people aren't. There's no reason why you shouldn't be blown by these people on both sides of the ball. So yeah, I don't think it's a big deal in long term, but I do think it's one of the things that he's going to have to continue to learn to give more consistently as far as the effort defensively.
And to Charlie's point about like coaching him in the moment, I think Pep knows that he has to coach him in the moment, because I think that like that platoon, you're gonna see that a lot. Like when we make changes, like because Kevin De Bruyne is not 90 minutes fit. Like he's
No.
like, but when he comes on, you're going to see another player come on with him, and like I think Pep wants that player to be Daku, especially with Erling Haaland out of the side right now. So that's why it was so important for Pep to coach him in that moment, regardless of who was, what TV eyes in the world were watching, because like he knows like more than likely like this is going to be your role probably going forward. So I need you to like excel in this role, please, like and like put effort into it.
And he is running with that. KDB until, yes, he's in shape to play 90 minutes now. That's what Pep said, but he's not in the shape to sprint 90 minutes. And there are going to be people who need to make up for that, which Daku is one of those people. Because there were definitely moments where KDB is just like, Pep, you're telling me he's at 100, but he's still moving at like 90%. I would even say it's like 85.
But early on, he was chasing balls. Like I think Diaz put him in over the top, and like it's
he knows
not
when to run,
sprints.
when not to run. Yes, yeah, he's just not always like killing himself. Like because that was his thing. What? He was just always red, and I'm not sure when we're going to see him get red.
But I think part of that is just being a veteran. I told you guys, my daughter plays basketball. This was a tough season for her because she got hurt. And in the beginning, she kept trying to come back and play. But when she would go on the court, she was just 100 miles an hour. Sometimes it's like, I'm an old man as a veteran. You're like, I'm not going to chase that right there. I'm gonna hang back defensively because I'm not going to contribute anything to this play. I'm not going to get there in time to contribute to it. So maybe I just need to slow it down a little bit, and you save yourself in those moments. My kid, she's freshman. She doesn't know that yet. She's just trying to impress coaches. So you're going 100 miles an hour, and I'm like, you need to slow down. But KDB is like, look, there's some moments where it doesn't make sense for me to go. But then he had those other moments where he's going 100 miles an hour and he's bodying Van de Ven off the pitch, right? So I just think it's a wily veteran that knows when to go, when not to go, when to push, when to pull back. And I think we've seen enough. We have enough confidence in him that Pep is probably willing to give him a little bit of latitude there.
Yeah, I agree. Speaking of, youthful exuberance. Vardiel with a very dumb moment, earning his yellow because he let Richarlison upset him. Bro, Richarlison, he's just a troll. That's who he is. He is a professional shithouser. And Vardiel, welcome to the Premier League. Yeah, no, now. It just beats like that sometimes. But the moment happened. It happened. The curse was broken thanks to Ruben Diaz's box out ability and Nathan Ake's wicked quick reflexes. KDB's gorgeous cross, which when you look at it, he really just kind of, it was like a flick. Like he hit it and like did like this little extra thing on it. I was only he can do that. He and the way the ball just like curved and dropped, it was so fun. I pretty sure I went back and I like rewound, watched it again, just the flight of the ball because it just was like perfect. KDB's gorgeous cross. Vicario tried to force himself in front of Diaz. You kind of saw them like pushing each other. Bodied. Goal. Elation. The scream I let out after VAR confirmed the goal. The ulcer that I could feel forming in my stomach disappeared. Oh, how was watching Ake's goal for you? Describe the experience, the emotions felt, the curse word you let out.
I did not say a word. I was watching with my roommate, and she was like, "This is her first time ever watching a full City match." And I told her all about the curse in 5 years, blah blah blah. And so when the goal went in, my hands on my head, and I go, "I'm not gonna get happy. I can't get happy. They're gonna take it away. This is what we do. They're gonna take it away from us.
It is what they do.
I need to see Tottenham kick it. I thought back to Sterling and Aguero, right? Like I thought back to Champions League. Like these things don't leave you when you play Spurs. And so it wasn't until that I saw the ball in the center circle that I went, we did it. And it was very calm. It wasn't an exclaim. It wasn't any curse word. It was like, we're going to beat Spurs at Tottenham Stadium. And that was all I needed.
I had a 3-minute emotional roller coaster. I was like, yes, yes, we scored. Yes, yes. And then it was like, oh fuck, not VAR. And then like all of the like VAR trauma, like specifically with that club, like just starts come rushing back. And you're just like, oh no. And then when when VAR did confirm it, it was at that point I was like, we're gonna win this match. Because I knew that there was only one goal in the match. It was like like especially like when we scored it was like the 80 something minute, 88th minute or something like that. Yeah, we were gonna win that match. Like so it was high highs, low lows, and then the very highest highs. So yes, in 3 minutes.
I guess I was somewhere in between. I definitely got a little happy, but I think like everyone else, I kind of expected them to bring it back because of the way that keepers are so protected. Not because I thought it was a foul, but because of how much they protect keepers even from themselves. And I think back to the situation against Alisson when we were playing Liverpool. I'm pretty sure it was. I think this was when Diaz in this kind of similar situation had a little contact. I think it was Diaz, a little contact, and then before you know it, they pull it back. And so I kind of expected them to bring it back. And I will be the first to say, when it comes to watching my club, I often am on the pessimistic side. So I'm just like, oh, they're going to take it away. They're just going to take it away because, of course, they are. So I'm kind of like Charlie. Once I seen they're about to kick it back off again, it was like, okay, we got it. And then I think, like everyone else, it was so late in the match that we're not giving up a goal here. There's no way they're not gonna get enough opportunities to come back and score. Although they did give a bunch of time, but at that point, I was confident that we were gonna pull it out. So yeah,
I just screamed from just like the inner depths of my stomach, just came out a yell. Like my voice was raspy for I think it was like 2.5 hours. It was, oh man, it was just so much emotion. It felt legitimately felt like a CL final. Like that, the same emotions that I felt when Rodri scored that goal. That was very similar emotions that I felt when Ake scored. I was just like, we're never going to be stopped. We won the treble. The only thing we hadn't done was score at Tottenham away and win. And we've now done that. Pep has truly completed football. Like, what is there left for this man to do? Oh my gosh. Oh. So
I just want to say, hold up. Pep called his shot. He said it right after the treble, after the Champions League. Like, we need to score away at Tottenham. It took 101 shots to finally get a goal. And we didn't even talk about this, Crump. You had a Bernardo Silva chance right in front of goal, went right to keeper. Kevin gifted a chance off a mistake by Højbjerg, wide left.
Wide.
He literally missed the whole target.
Oh.
And here's the thing. Because we won, we didn't even mention
Nobody says anything. Nobody says anything.
But that's a fucking terrible miss. Like,
I forgot about that.
I'm gonna get some random energy. That is a horrible miss. You will, any other player, you are coming at their neck. Because it's Kev, we let it go. We won. Great. But that, you gotta hit the target, my boy. Come on, Ginger. You gotta do it. But yeah, chances were missed all around. It was not a great match. But we only gave up one shot. We had 14 corners. We dominated that match. We deserved that win. And who else but Ake to do it? Shouts to the Black Line. Shouts to the Melanin. Shouts to Shades of Blue. We really did that. And we will never forget Ake being in the right place at the right time. Just like last year in the FA Cup when his goal beat Arsenal.
Yep. And I think sometimes that Pep wants to prove a point against certain managers, and not just in the way, not just in what the result is, but in the way that the process is played. So I think there's been a lot of talk about oh, and she's the new best next manager in the Premier League, and oh, word, okay, well, let me make him play a match where he gets one shot. I'm gonna make him play that match, and he doesn't want to play that match. But we're gonna be so ruthlessly efficient defensively that you're not gonna get those chances at all. So I think that that's how good Pep is as a manager, and the players that he has at his disposal, because he can play a match to prove a point. And I think he played this match specifically to prove a point about Big Ange.
So we'll end the match talking about the episode talking about the fifth round of the FA Cup draw that happened for the men.
What's your favorite club, Crunk?
You know the vibes. Get our buddies, Luton Town. I'm very much, I'm looking forward to this because it's Luton Town. They seem to have earned this street cred over the last couple of months. Ever since they really played us, they kind of have straightened themselves out a little bit. And Everton potentially
let's be
falling
honest.
apart and getting them up.
I think everybody.
I think you're about to beat me. I think you're about to beat me to what I was about to say. So go ahead for it.
Everybody started rooting for them when that player went down, and their coach, gave their fans a round of applause. I think that everybody was oh, well, now we have to root for this team. This is just such a touch moment, and it was complete class. As a matter of fact, I think I was I shouted out on my shock, awe, and applause when it happened. But I think that that's when they bought all of this goodwill, and I don't
see, and that's actually not even what I was going to say. I was just going to say the people be horny for their manager, Rob Edwards. That's what I think it is.
I mean, there's that too. Both things can be true.
Duality.
Yes.
Yeah, he's like a fan favorite due to his contagious smile and his chill view on his club's performances. It's just our last match at the rec center that Luton Town wants to call a stadium. It took 3 minutes of genius from Bernardo and Gucci Buma for City to lead with 3 points.
I can't with rec center.
We're not gonna go past that, bro. If you call their whole stadium a rec center, a recreational center, a place for leisurely activity, that's what you just call
That's what they do, no?
Beautiful stadium. I mean, it ain't got no seats for real. Like I ain't seen a skybox. I don't. Do they have concessions? They got to go through people's homes. Like it's a while. But you called it a rec center, bro. Like I know I'm
I'm
3
sure,
IPAs in,
bro.
but
I'm
dog,
sure.
that's hilarious. That's
I'm sure
legendary. That's top
karaoke night
10.
is lit there. I'm sure it's a
It's got
good
to be crazy.
time
You get
there.
the acoustics got to be amazing. It only seats 7,000 or whatever. Like, bro, like that's chef's kiss, Chrome. Chef's kiss.
Oh
Flowers,
gosh.
all of you.
I think it sits like 12, right?
It got
It's a
upgraded. I think it's like 10. I think it's like 10. Maybe
Okay,
10,
something like that.
Yeah. It's upgraded from 7 to now 10. Yes, because I think it's only like 1,000 City fans can go, and you get 10%. So that's why I think it's 10,000. Yeah, their latch match at their building took 3 minutes of genius from Bernardo and Gucci Puma. That's what gave City our 3 points. How are we really feeling about this draw? Is there a chance that Luton Town, because it's, again, home, can they pull off the upset? Is this the perfect moment for FA Cup man? Shout out to the homies, Hollywood Kipbacks.
It absolutely is a chance for FA Cup man, because if you look at where the match falls in Man City's schedule, because that match is being played
after Bournemouth, before the derby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like absolutely, you would hope to see FA Cup man in there, and that doesn't even take into account because wouldn't the next round of the Champions League be in there somewhere too?
Directly after the derby. So we go Saturday the 24th at Bournemouth, Wednesday at Luton, Sunday home against United in the derby, and Wednesday finishing up Copenhagen, which should hopefully be tucked away.
Right.
But yeah.
So yes, this is absolutely an opportunity for an appearance from FA Cup man. I definitely expect Sergio Aguero to be on the pitch for that, and
Sergio Gomez.
God damn! I told y'all I was intoxicated. God damn it!
He's lit. That's that KC football right there.
Yep.
Football.
Football.
Bring him back.
Bring him back.
Bring him back.
Yeah. Like apparently I got CTE. I don't know.
That Ravens pack different.
I guess.
Ravens pack hit different.
Yeah. Clearly. Like I had to go through the ghosts of Ray Lewis and Ed Reed to do. But yeah, Sergio Gomez is absolutely going to get a start in that match. If not that match, then the Copenhagen match for certain.
Okay. Well, I don't want to say it because I forgot we actually have this Burnley. Let's just give quick score predictions for this match. I think it's home. We beat them down. Ooh, Sharpie 5.
Wait, is it home? Or I thought we were going
Yeah, it's
to
home.
Luton.
No, it's home. The first game of the year was away. No, sorry. I'm moving past
This is
Luton.
FA Cup, though.
No,
okay.
I just wanted to generally talk about, because that match is like forever from now, but we have a game in 2 days against Burnley.
The Burnley match?
Yes, that's home.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. There'll be 6 goals in the match.
You beat me to it. I do. It's happening, baby.
No. I meant just like in total. Like I think like I'm thinking like a 4-2 scoreline. Honestly,
we're gonna let 2 goals at home.
Let this man have his opinion, Crum. Let the man have his opinion.
I mean, I don't love it. No, but I'm being realistic.
Hey, I sent a picture to the group chat when I was driving. I told y'all how I.
That's true. You did.
I got 5 on it. How do you feel about the tag? What do you think the score is going to be, sir?
I'm gonna go. See, the issue is we stomped them out last time around.
Oh,
it's game over.
So sorry, I wasn't on mute. Sorry, my bad.
No, it's pretty much game over. It's game over. They're gonna try to on side. It's not gonna happen. It's only 56 seconds left.
Lions scored.
So
it's pretty much game over.
The onside was crazy. It was a really high bounce.
See, I didn't see the.
Yeah,
onside.
I'm watching.
I must be behind you then.
My bad.
I'm on my tablet sitting here. It did. Yeah, it was close. Anyway, What's the question again?
Score prediction.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna go. I don't think it's gonna be as big. We stomped them out last time. I think they're gonna learn their lesson. I think it's gonna be. I'm gonna say 3-0, 2-0, 3-0, something like that. I don't think it'll be. I don't think it'll be like a close game or anything like that. I think we'll win pretty comfortably, but I don't think we get to that 4-5 mark. Now I could be completely wrong. I hope I am. Hope we run it up, but I'm gonna say 3-0.
Crunk, can I say this real quick?
Yeah, please.
When I use One Football to look at footy matches, right? And they do red when you lose, white when you draw, green when you win. There's no red on City's match thing until like going back to December 6th. Like this is the run everybody was scared of. It's here, y'all. And our next few matches: Burnley, Brentford, Everton,
run it up,
and then Chelsea with the return of Cole Germain, and Raz again. Like this is the run. This is where we win the league. I'm so excited to be here. It feels good.
If Arsenal and Aston Villa are able to put 3 on Burnley, we can do 4. So I will say, man, we just don't want to give. They have a lot of shutouts. Burnley, they get shut out a lot. So I feel comfortable saying 4-0. I think 4-0. Again, I'm sure they're going to try real practical, and it wouldn't even surprise me if it's like 1-0 at the end of the first half. City are up. Just all that running gets tough after a while, and I think we just run away with it. Well, join me tomorrow, today, for the Breaking Bread with Turfcast. They will be joining us live at noon in the US and 6 p.m. in the UK. You can watch on our YouTube channel. You can turn on the notifications. In fact, I actually have all of our shows for the entire month of February already scheduled on our Twitch, on our YouTube. You can just go there, turn the notifications on, put it in your schedule. You ain't got to miss nothing if you're a real one. Burnley, they really never stood a chance at the beginning of the season. We'll see how these clown houses do with their ineffective brand of football. It's going to be a good time. The shout out to our amazing Shades of Blue. My show bros, love you guys. Monday, like I said, we got the show with Turfcast. Then we got our most dope show, Lit Stream, with Spencer Swartz, Evan T. Mack, Jamie Calderon. Then Friday, we have another Breaking Bread match preview show for Monday's City versus Brentford match. Brentford supporter Charlie Core will be joining me at Core Sports. Will be joining me to discuss the match. And then Sunday, February 4th, is our Baby Blue Baddies kickoff show for City Women versus Leicester. Join us a half hour before kickoff at 6:30 a.m. Link to all the shows should be in the episode description. Also, I made an adjustment to our Patreon. Instead of trying to put extra content and drop things sooner on it, we're doing 3 to 5 episodes or show formats a week. It's very difficult to make something specifically for Patreon. I've adjusted our Patreon to just being a general supporting Shades of Blue. So if you have ever thought to yourself, hey, I really enjoy Shades of Blue. I love what they're doing. How can I help them? Here's your chance. This is how you do it. $6 a month. That's less than a drink from a local coffee shop, or a brewery, or the very popular coffee corporation that we all shouldn't be going to right now. That once a month. Real easy to us. That money goes to a Shades of Blue general fund, which helps us pay our distro fees. And if we can get enough of you, then maybe we can upgrade equipment, and maybe I'll be able to get most dope guests in that you got to pay for. And then that's when I can put very specific most dope content on our Patreon. So check that out. The links, all that stuff is there. Help us out if you want to. Follow our social media accounts on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, all those things. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to leave a comment. Hit that thumbs up. Rate and review if you're listening on an audio-only app, a podcasting app, and all that stuff should be in your description. My show bros. Tom Bomb, we'll start with you. Please let the listeners know where to find you.
If there is a social media platform that I participate on, the username is at TomBomb816. That's THOMBOMB 816.
You can find me on Twitter or Threads at Tarek Peterson, TARIKPETERSON, at Tarek Peterson on Threads or Twitter.
Get me on Twitter.com or X app in your app store at Sharpie Charlie.
Shades of Blue US on the socials. You know the vibes. Come check us out. Hang out with us. Shady Gang. Shady Gang. Shady Gang. I just want to change it up a little bit. It's a little fun. All right. See you guys.